This game took 8 years to come out, and somehow everyone I told doesn't even remember it exists. But after just a few hours, I think Hytale might actually be worth the wait. I remember watching the announcement trailer back in 2018. I told all my friends about it. We were convinced this was the next big thing. I told the same friends about it today, and they asked me what Hytale was. So instead of a full playthrough, this is just me figuring out whether 8 years of waiting was a complete waste of time. So when I got home from work, the first thing I did was buy the $69 version because it's a funny number and it comes with a bunch of neat cosmetics. Then I downloaded the game. Here's the character creator. I'm sure a lot of people will love this. I don't. I really wanted to look like I do in another block game, you know, with a giant CRT monitor for a face. But this isn't an option here. 0 out of 10, never playing again. Just kidding. I made this monstrosity that kind of resembles it anyway. Don't I look handsome? I'm also using none of the cosmetics I paid for, because it's way cooler to wear almost nothing. I do it for the immersion, I swear. The game then dropped me into a spawn room where I immediately started punching the walls and messing with settings like a bipolar schizophrenic trying to navigate a MrBeast challenge video. Fortunately, I figured out how the door works. Wow. Okay. This looks really good. The drifting planes. I punch a tree? So what are the first few hours actually like? The biggest thing that stood out to me is how alive the world feels. There are animals everywhere. Within the first 5 minutes, I experienced more variety than I have in the past decade of playing Minecraft. And even hours in, I was still discovering new creatures I felt compelled to investigate. The art style and animations do a lot of heavy lifting here. These animals move, sleep, and charge me like I accidentally walked into the woman's bathroom. And just like women, they turn around and walk away from me. It looked kind of scary, but... Yo, he's avoiding me. You see this? You don't want to look at me. Hey. Come here. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Now I feel bad. Progression is heavily tied to killing animals, which means these cute, very alive looking creatures will be harvested by the hundreds so you can craft items and upgrade your workbenches. Nature is beautiful, but nature is also loot. I messed around with the building system a bit, and I think the art style alone makes even simple builds look really good. This is a small cabin I threw together, and I also had the realization while building it that every wood type has its own unique roof, door, window design. The variety is insane. I'll definitely need to build something way crazier to see what the system is really capable of. Movement also feels fantastic. You can walk up 1 block steps, jump 2 blocks high, and vault over 3 blocks. Yes, this game has parkour. Still not enough for you? Don't worry. Certain weapon abilities let you fling yourself through the air like the feral crackheads you see at your local Walmart. And honestly, it's extremely useful. I used the sword charge ability to leap over craters or escape enemies that were planning to harvest my ribcage. Speaking of enemies, the combat is engaging. As someone who's played everything from spam left click until it dies to you missed your parry window by 0.0002 milliseconds and are now dead, I really like the approach they took here. There's depth without being overwhelming. If you're decent at combat, you can raid a fortress full of skeletal soldiers with just a gold helmet and a rusty sword. You could spam click if you wanted to, but you'll feel it. Some enemies, though, genuinely caught me off guard, like these magma frog things that latch onto me like the government during tax season. Or this golem that stared at me blankly before hitting me with the full wombo combo, deleting my stamina, my health, and my sense of reality. Oh! Some enemies are just tougher. Be careful. Oh, sweet Jesus. But the thing I appreciated most? The exploration. They don't call it the exploration mode for nothing. There's something interesting everywhere. The map feels deliberately crafted for discovery. Prefabs are placed in a way that genuinely made me question how much of this world is procedural. And the prefabs themselves are excellent. They're fun to clear, visually interesting, and the loot you find inside is actually useful. Honestly, I think you could avoid mining entirely and just live off of exploration. Halfway through my play session, I completely zoned out and just wandered. The ambience created through the art style, sound design, and environmental storytelling is special. The last time I felt this way was during my first Skyrim playthrough, just walking until I found the next thing worth looking at. It's rare for a game to have an open world that feels this inviting anymore. Even in early access, Hytale gets this right. These are just my initial impressions, and there's a lot of progression left to explore, but I'm genuinely impressed. For an early access game, there's already a ton here, and I'm excited to see where it goes next. I might come back to this once I've done everything there is to do. Thanks for watching.